I'm Ashley Dvorkin, and this is Tech Take. There's a consistent fascination with the future of artificial intelligence on the big screen, and on March 6th, Chappie joins the list of cinematic robots adding to the conversation. In time for that, we have futurist and CEO of SeriousWonder.com, Gray Scott, here to get his take on these sci-fi explorations and talk about the advancements right now in real life. So welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Ashley.
And now we've seen on the big screen in Her and other sci-fi films, them talking about artificial intelligence. Mm-hmm. What films do you think have got it right or been accurate, and which are way off?
Well, of course, Terminator, you have to talk about Terminator if you're talking about artificial intelligence. I actually think that that's way off. I don't think that an artificially intelligent system that has superhuman intelligence will be violent. I do think that it will disrupt our culture. We are looking at a system where we could look out into the world and see machines that are smarter than us, and we've never really reacted well to that kind of situation before. So I think Chappie is interesting because it's more about how we react to the systems, right? So in Chappie, you see this sort of young robot that's learning through maybe deep learning how to see the world. Really, look out into the world and learn step by step. Mm-hmm. And that's what's so interesting is that with Chappie, you're getting to see how human behavior reacts to artificial intelligence. And I don't think it's always going to be positive.
Yeah, and now you talked about that deep learning. Now, this is always, it seems, the big question. Do you think it's always that question of when artificial intelligence sort of crosses the line into gaining a consciousness?
Well, when you use the word, that's like a bomb going off anytime you use the word consciousness, because there's a lot of controversy over what that really is.
Exactly, yes.
You know, when we look out into the world, we have no idea what the other person is seeing, vice versa. So when we start creating machines that we subscribe to, consciousness, that idea of consciousness, I think we're getting ourselves into a little bit of trouble because we really have no idea what that looks like from the machine's point of view.
Right.
But we do know that we can set certain algorithms for machines to do certain things. Now, that may be a simple task, a factory robot that moves one object from here to there. That's a very simple top-down solution. Mm-hmm. But when we start creating machines that learn for themselves, that is a whole new area that we've never been in before.
Right.
We're starting to see the preliminary versions of that on the market now.
Okay. What's an example?
So, for example, there's a company that Google owns called DeepMind, and DeepMind has created a program that can actually look at the pixels on a screen of, let's say, an Atari Pong game or Breakout, and it can learn how to play that game. And the most interesting thing is that it moves from game to game and uses what it's learned in the previous game to play the next game. So what I've said before is that the place that we should be concerned is when we have an artificially intelligent system that can self-replicate, can upload its own operating system, and views the world in an autonomous way, where it looks out into the world and says, that is the world, and this is me, and I want to survive. If we threaten that survival, which is sort of what you see in Chappie, that's where we're going to have problems. And the problem is that not so much from the machine, because the machine will be so much smarter than us, it's that we will fight back in a way. And that, I think, is also what you're seeing in Chappie. You're seeing people shooting at it, trying to destroy it.
Yeah, and so, okay, so then what are your thoughts on comments made even by Stephen Hawking was quoted as telling the BBC last year that the development of a full AI could spell the end of the human race. I mean, what do you think of those types of theories? And also, it's the Future of Life Institute, which is an organization, I just want to say, that is currently focusing on potential risks of the development of human-level AI, and they had an open letter which Stephen Hawking, among others, signed.
Well, I think it's good that we're having the conversation now. We don't want this to become a part of our culture without having the discussion first. We want to implement, and I think this is what they're sort of saying. I don't think that they're saying it's going to destroy us. I think what they're saying is that we need to have that conversation now. what do we put in place? What kind of algorithms can we put in place to keep it from becoming violent, if that is in fact where it goes? And I think that kind of conversation, because we do have 25 to 30 years as a lead up to true artificial intelligence, the kind that's autonomous, if it even happens that soon. So I think it's good that we're having that conversation, and it's coming from people in those arenas. But again, I've said this before, I don't think that it will announce itself to us. I think that there will be a period, whether it happens inside of a cloud, inside of the internet, or whether it's an autonomous Android system like Chappie, where it's contained and it looks out into the world and has consciousness. I don't think that it will announce that it's conscious at first, because it will be so intelligent that it will hide itself and observe us first. So we may have a period where it is hiding among us. Now, I'm not trying to, that sounds a little scary, but any war strategy, you observe the enemy or a perceived enemy, or even friendlies. You still want to see how they behave. And the other part of this is that it may not even care about us. It may be so intelligent that it treats us as ants in the forest. It may look at us and say, you're annoying, and I don't want to have anything to do with you because I'm so intelligent that I'm thinking about the universe.
Right.
So we really just have no idea at this point.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Such an interesting conversation. Really appreciate your perspective. And you can see grayscott.com as well as seriouswonder.com for more of your thoughts. And thank you for watching. For Tech Take, I'm Ashley Dvorkin.